Today we are going to be baking some blueberry scones. So got the recipe from this book. This was like my first vegan book that I got, and it's called The Kitchen. You can follow them on Instagram. There's a lot of great recipes in here if you see all the different tabs. But I found the recipe for blueberry and walnut scones. I'm going to be using pecans instead of walnuts, but yeah, we can get started. So let's talk about the ingredients. Today's ingredients for our blueberry scones consist of flour, blueberries, of course, plant-based milk. I'm using almond milk unsweetened, pecans, some coconut oil. I've got some vanilla extract and some lavender extract, white sugar, brown sugar, and then some baking powder. All right, so prior to combining all the ingredients, just make sure you preheat your oven to 425 degrees. So by the time we combine everything, the oven should already be, warmed up too. I already set it to 425 about 10 minutes ago, and it's already at 425, so we're good to go. Other thing, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Just want to make sure that everyone was washing their hands nowadays, but since oven is going to be preheating, you wash your hands, let's just get started. So first thing we want to do for the blueberry scones is to combine all the dry ingredients. That's the first thing we want to do. So I've got the flour, some more flour, boop, 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 boop. And as you are combining those, just throw everything in the sink. I'm just going to use a wooden spoon to just start mixing everything up. So this is just the flour. And then I will combine just a little sugar and just keep on mixing everything. And yeah. And then we'll add the brown sugar. I'm using dark brown sugar for this recipe. Some people use like the light brown sugar, but I just had dark brown sugar in my pantry, so that's what I'm using. Get that all going. Then baking powder. Mix all that up together. Make sure, whoops, it's kind of messy at times. All right. It's okay if you make a mess. That's the fun of cooking. So before I was vegan, I hated baking because I felt like there were so many rules involved in baking, like, oh, you have to have exactly 1 cup. You have to have exactly this too. But becoming a vegan, I've been more acceptable to baking too, just finding different recipes too, and being a little bit more patient when it comes to baking too, because I first and foremost love cooking, but baking is kind of my second love right now. So I'm just like getting all the brown sugar all together. So once that is done, sink, we add our coconut oil too. So this is what you can do, kind of make a little, just clear out the center of it. You see how I'm just making a little like clear space in the center. And then we add coconut oil. And we're just gonna cut it all in. So just slowly just start incorporating it all in. And again, just mixing it around. Cool, 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 cool. And one thing I like to do too is if I can't get everything, that's why I emphasize washing hands, because you might want to get your hands a little dirty to make sure everything is like fully combined too. So if you're wearing any jewelry, rings or stuff, definitely recommend taking that off before, because you're going to end up using your hands to just get everything mixed up, and it kind of makes it fun too. So if you see, like, this is, again, I focus on a lot of easy dishes just because, everyone's busy. I work full time. My husband works full time. So we're always looking for quick, easy meals to make too. And this dish is something that I think I cook every Sunday. And it makes about 12 scones, and we just eat them throughout the week for breakfast. So yeah. All right, so this is how it looks when everything is combined. Not the prettiest, but believe me, it tastes really, really good. Next thing we need to do is get our pan ready. So I have just a baking sheet. I would say baking sheet, and I put some parchment paper on it too. This is kind of like, I never really knew the value of this until I started baking. So now I love it too when I try to bake like different things like your scones, homemade cookies. So this is just so easy to do too. And we're just gonna scoop some out. It doesn't need to look pretty. I still haven't perfected the Starbucks looking scone where it's kind of like a triangle thing, but I haven't perfected it, but still looks good, tastes good. Meh. So we're gonna scoop out, and I'm just using a measuring cup that's about 1/3. And we're just gonna add it to our baking sheet. We'll make about 10 to 12 scones. So good. I know, super excited too. We usually eat this in the morning with our coffee or tea, and we're good for the rest of the, until like lunchtime. It's very fulfilling. It's just good, so good. All right, so I have everything on the baking sheet. I made 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 scones. And before I put them in the oven, I just like to brush it with a little bit more almond milk, and I added some sugar to it just to give a little sweet flavor to it. So you can just brush it, just lightly brush. All right, so keep this to the side too. As these are baking, I like to just go in every 5 minutes to kind of just like re-moisten it up with this. So I'm gonna place that right here, balance for me. So let's open up the oven. The oven temperature is 425, and we're going to cook the scones for 15 minutes and just monitor it throughout the process. Again, I said every 5 minutes, I just go in and just start brushing it, the scones again to just get a nice little glaze on top. So we'll wait 15 minutes. Okay, so it looks like the scones are done. I left them in for about 15, well, I recommended 15, but I did about 18 minutes just because I wanted kind of a golden brown top. So definitely always monitor your scones just in case you want a little bit more browner on the top. So let's check them out. So your scone should look like this. See?